Hello and welcome back, everyone. We're of course back. It has been way too long, sorry about that, but we are finally back, and today, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail and all of that, we're here for a mining guide, specifically for the early game, and we're going to be focusing on when you first join into Skyblock, upwards into the stage where you're in the Crystal Hollows and the Dwarven Mines and all that. I do want to say before we get started though, if this video helps you at all, make sure to leave a like, and if you like content like this, definitely make sure to subscribe as well. It helps out a ton. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and once we hit it, there's going to be a massive giveaway that's going to blow my other giveaways out of the park. It's going to be so much bigger of a giveaway, so make sure to subscribe for a chance to win it. Anyway, let's get started on how to start with mining. Now let's say you just started in Skyblock, you're walking around the hub, you don't know what to do, where to go. I have a guide for that I'm going to link up in the top corner if you want to check that out too. But for now, the first step to mining is actually going to be farming, because you're going to need some coins for your shovel, for your pickaxe, and for all of that. So you're going to want to go over here. It's just, that is where you're going to spawn in. So you just want to follow this path. You're going to farm as much wheat as you can, and then you're going to want to sell it to various NPCs, such as this one over here. Now, once you go over here, you can just click on all of the farmed resources that you get, you can sell them, and then you'll have coins. Now, once again, the coins are the main thing we need right now, so let me go show you what to do with those. So, once you've gotten some coins from your farming and all that, you're going to want to go over here to the mine merchant, and you're going to want to buy some gold ingots. Now, you do not need anything else other than just one gold ingot. It's really cheap, really easy, no big deal at all, because all we're going to be doing with this is making a golden shovel. Now, you can go over to this area here, to the lumber merchant, and you can get some sticks. You only need 2, obviously, because we're going to be making a golden shovel once again. And then you can just use your Skyblock menu to make the golden shovel. Very easy, very quick. And then you go over to here, into the enchanting area. Now, here comes a slight issue. You are going to need some XP. And you can do that by either buying some experience bottles. You shouldn't need too many, you're only going to need enough for level 2 of efficiency, which really is not that much. As you can see, that's 15 XP levels, so you should be able to get that pretty easily just by buying experience bottles. But if not, you can also just get a sword and start killing some mobs over in the graveyard in that direction. But once you have the efficiency 2 golden shovel, you may be wondering, how is digging going to be getting you started with mining? Well, we're going to go over here, past the farm, and we're going to go over to the farming islands over here. Now, you may be wondering, once again, how does even more farming help you with your mining journey? Well, simple. We're going to go through there. You can get here however you want, but, you can go through the barn. Then you're going to want to follow this path up here, and you're going to want to go to the desert settlement. Now, once you're here, get your golden shovel in hand, and all you have to do is mine the sand. This is going to give you just under 5 mining XP per sand block, which is going to add up insanely fast. I know it's not going up too fast for me, but that's because I've mined a good amount and all that. And all around, this is going to add up extraordinarily fast. I don't know why there was a bit of lag there, but now, I would suggest doing this until you're at about level 12 to 14 of mining. It isn't necessarily needed right now, but it's going to help you later down the line, because that's where it starts to get more and more difficult to level up with this method. So I suggest basically to take as much advantage of this method as you can while you can, so that you don't have to go back and level up more later on. I always prefer to just get it all done in one solid trip. But if you prefer to go back and forth, you can do that too. But now we're going to get on to the next step. So now you'll have some mining XP, you'll have some more money because you can sell the sand for a solid amount. So you're going to want to go back to the mine merchant, and I would personally suggest buying the promising pickaxe because it's going to gain efficiency, so you won't have to spend even more levels on that. But you can go with any of these that are here. Or you can make a pickaxe on your own. For this example though, I am going to be using a bit later game pickaxe, just because I have it on hand. And essentially you can mine all through here, you can do what you want here, but we're going to be kind of ignoring this. This is why we power leveled the mining skill with the sand mining, because it goes way quicker, it's way easier, and honestly it feels more profitable than just stone. And coal, but it's mostly stone over there. but it's mostly iron, stone, gold, and coal here, which still is not going to make you much in the way of coins, so I would suggest just walking through, going over here, and this is where we're going to actually start the journey for mining, in the deep caverns. Now, the deep caverns are, of course, the first major, big mining area that you're going to get to, and that's why we didn't really bother with the other two. If we could just power level mining and get here as fast as possible instead of having to mine coal and all that to level up, since that's way slower. So, now that we're here, we're going to basically want to find all the levels with all the different ores, which you can do by just running around until you see a ramp down. I guess I could consider this a ramp. I'm not quite sure what else to consider it as. It's certainly not a staircase, but anyway, you're going to find a way down, and you're just going to want to follow it. Now, you're going to get down to the lapis area, you're going to want to run around until you find the way down to the redstone area, which is right over here, and then you're going to basically just want to keep going all the way down into the diamond and obsidian area. And while you're doing this, I would suggest mining as much as possible because you're going to need several enchanted orbs later on, and those are, of course, going to be expensive to buy, so I would suggest trying to mine them as much as possible. Now, once you do make your way down through the diamond reserve down to the obsidian sanctuary, you're going to find a bunch of kind of dangerous mobs for this stage of the game if you didn't really take any time to gear up, and I would suggest just kind of trying not to interact with them as much as possible. They aren't attacking me right now because I have an accessory that makes it so that they're essentially scared of me, but when you're first starting, these will take a ton of your health away whenever they hit you, and they'll take a solid amount of hits to kill, once again, unless if you've kind of geared up before doing this, but if you have done exactly as I've shown and just power leveled mining and ran straight here, I would suggest just staying away from these as much as possible. And you are going to even find diamond blocks down here. Not that, that's a miner skeleton, but right there, a diamond block. So, if you're mining for money, this is a good place for that too. But, once again, you're going to be needing to get a couple of enchanted orbs. Now, the best contender for that is generally going to be something like, redstone, lapis, those types, since they're extremely cheap. And you are going to have to come over here, all the way over to the lift operator, as you can see right there, and then you're going to find this dwarven man here. Now, as you can see here, he will not give me the dialogue option right now because I already did it all, but essentially when you talk to him, he's going to tell you what you need to bring him, he's going to give you the options, because you don't need to bring him everything, but you're going to need to bring him some stuff, as I said, the enchanted orbs, and it's up to you what you pick to bring to him, essentially. So, you can choose whatever orbs he says, and then just bring him those orbs, and he will bring you down to the dwarven mines. Now, this whole process, if you're really rushing through it, shouldn't take too long, but it will still take a bit, so, take some time, make some coins, and I generally would suggest to just buy the cheaper orbs, because it is way quicker than trying to actually mine for them, since it takes a ton of resources, but if you would prefer to mine for it, it shouldn't take too long either way if you go for redstone or lapis. Anyway, onto the dwarven mines. Now, once you are in the dwarven mines, you will be greeted by the individual who brought you here, obviously, and he's going to have a ton of different options for stuff to kind of teach you about. He is the guide, after all, and he's going to tell you all about everything in here. He's going to tell you about the mithril and powder, he's going to tell you about commissions, which are very helpful, and I'll get into those very soon. He's going to tell you about Heart of the Mountain, which is very helpful as well. Essentially, he's going to tell you, once again, about everything that you need to know for the Dwarven Mines and the Crystal Hollows. But, I'm going to get into the more practical stuff right now. So first off, you are going to want to go over here, and you're going to talk to Boo Boo over here. Now, Boo Boo is going to sell you a fractured mithril pickaxe or a bandaged mithril pickaxe if you have some mithril with you already. And these are going to have a way higher breaking power than a normal pickaxe would. For example, these, as stone pickaxes, have the breaking power to take down obsidian perfectly fine, and these titanium ones here are going to be taking out the gemstones and all that. But, once again, we're going to be starting with the fractured mithril pickaxe, then going to the bandage, and all of that. Like, as you can see here, I never even upgraded mine from fractured to the bandaged one, just because there's a better option that we could get soon. Or really, we could get it at any time, but I would suggest waiting a bit because it's not really worth it for the Dwarven Mines, because it's the Pico Nimbus and it breaks after a while, but it has everything we need for in the Crystal Hollows that I'll explain a bit later. But for now, we're going to be using the normal Fractured Mithril Pickaxe, so let's get going on how the Dwarven Mines work. So first off, this is a massive area. You've got your, your blacksmith over there, you've got a bank over there in case you have coins, or if you need coins. You have Old Man Gary, who's going to help you with events such as the raffle, the goblin hunt, or whatever it's called, I forget the exact name, and all of that. He's very helpful. You have the train master, or the station master I should say, who's going to help you get to any of the named locations pretty much in the Dwarven Mines, but once you get used to where everything is, he's not too helpful. In the beginning though, very helpful NPC right there, and I suggest checking him out from time to time just because it can help you to get a good idea of where everything is. And then as you follow this path more, you're going to see good old Lumina right here, who's going to sell you, torches, lantern, and an Infinitorch. And you're going to see a couple of other NPCs here who aren't really going to help you, but very good to know that they're there. This NPC here is going to take you to the Crystal Hollows, which once again we're going to talk more about very soon. Now there is actually one more useful NPC here though, and a lot of people don't seem to really know about this NPC because it's kind of hidden and out of the way. But as you can see from me backing up, you're going to want to go over here, and you're going to want to be going up the staircase or the ladder, but you'd have to jump off at this level. And then you're going to want to go over here into this kind of hidden room over here, and you'll find Bednam here. Now Bednam is going to have a whole quest line for you where he's going to tell you about how he had a dream that he was just a character in a game. I mean, it's outrageous really. Who would ever think that this individual here would just be a character in a game? But after a couple days of going back to him and talking to him about his dream, he's going to tell you that he saw where some loot was, and you're going to be able to go find that loot, and it's going to be a nice little bonus that you can get pretty easily. Now on to the actual mining aspect though. First things first is the Heart of the Mountain. Now the Heart of the Mountain is your leveling system while you're in the Dwarven Mines and the Crystal Hollows, and it basically functions as a skill tree, so you're going to choose what to put your points into, and some things are going to be better, some things are going to be worse, and it's all up to you and your personal preference. For example, you can start with mining speed, you can go up to mining fortune, you can have titanium insanium, which is going to make it more likely that you get titanium, you can have a quicker forge, you can have Picobolus, which is basically an ability that makes you throw your pickaxe and then it explodes. Great ability, pretty helpful, pretty fun to use more than anything really. And once again, this is your leveling system, so the higher tier you get, the more things are going to be unlocked. So the main thing that we're going for right now is tier 3, and that's going to unlock the Crystal Hollows for you, which is amazing. And once again, I know I've said it a bunch of times, we're going to get into that soon. But the best way to level up your Heart of the Mountain is actually through commissions. So you can go to any emissary that you have unlocked, or just straight up to the kings over there, which I'll show you where they are in a bit. But you can go up to any emissary that you have unlocked, you can go to the Dwarven Mines commissions, and you'll see that you'll have some commissions. Now when you're looking at your commissions, you're going to see a couple things. There's going to be a task for you, it's going to show the amount of XP that it's going to give you some mining XP, which is always great, and it's going to give some mithril powder. Now, you may also be noticing the daily bonus, and that essentially means your first 4 commissions that you complete in a day are going to get a big bonus for Heart of the Mountain XP. So that's why everyone is always going to suggest that you should always do these commissions, even if you don't really like mining, just because that bonus is amazing, and it's always great to take advantage of that. But the commissions can vary tremendously for what they actually need you to do. For example, right here, this wants me to deposit 20 tickets during the raffle event, which essentially means that I would have to wait for a raffle event, and sometimes you can have to wait a long time for that. So this is one of the harder commissions all around, even though it may not seem like it. But something like this, where you just have to mine 350 mithril ore, there is no specified location, there is none of that. So all around it's super easy because, as it says, you just have to mine mithril ore, and that's any of this stuff here. Even the wool, even the terracotta, and especially all of this in here, which is going to give you even more mithril powder and mithril itself. Now, once you actually complete your commission, which for some of them can take a long time, as I said with the raffle one, or for the mithril ones that just takes you mining, which is more boring than anything, you can go back to an emissary or the kings, and you can essentially just click to claim your rewards. You get all the XP, you get all the mithril powder, you get all that, and then you get a new commission. Now, this one right here is to mine 10 titanium ore in lava springs. Now, this is a perfect example because after a while, or maybe not even after a while, it might start you with one, you're going to get commissions telling you to do things in specific locations. So that's why it's good to go up to the station master and figure out where all the locations are, because some of them can be kind of confusing since this is a massive area. But, for example, to get to the lava springs, all I need to do is go over to the forge basin, and we're going to go up here to where that lava is coming from. Now, as you can see once I'm up here, this is the lava springs, as it says on the side right here, and we can just get straight to mining. Now, to get titanium to appear, all you have to do is mine the normal mithril. You cannot use the pick obelisk for it, you have to mine it by hand. So you're going to be mining a lot of mithril all around, but especially for these titanium quests, and that's why this one upgrade right here, the titanium insanium, is very good if you're doing the commissions in the dwarven mines. Now, as I said, I was going to show the location of the kings before I go on to the crystal hollows. So essentially, to get to the kings, if you have not unlocked any emissaries yet, you're going to want to basically just follow this path, go over this bridge, and then in here is going to be where you're going to find the kings and all of their other stuff. This is also where the raffle most of the time seems to take place, but not all of the time, so don't rely on that too much. But the king, whoever it may be, since they do cycle around, is also going to be able to give you and show you your commissions. So, now the main thing is, what about the actual mining armor, or the mining gear that you might want? Because now we're going to be getting into the crystal hollows, since I've shown you basically everything you need to know for the dwarven mines. Since the main aspects you needed to know about the dwarven mines are just how to do the commissions, and how to, you know, focus on them, where they need you to go, and what they need you to do, and all that. Because at that point, it's only really a matter of time for how long it takes you to grind out and get to Heart of the Mountain 3 to get to the crystal hollows. But in all honesty, in my opinion, there aren't really any mining sets that are worth going for up until Devon's armor, just because most of them in the early game that aren't going to be super expensive are really not that good. For example, Glaciite as a mining set is not good. Lapis armor as a mining set is not that great. And even the mineral armor is not that great when you're doing this kind of mining. And it helps somewhat, but it only will help if it's something of a breaking power less than 4 that's around it. So for example, if I put on my mineral set right now and try to break the stone on the ground here, it's gonna break the surrounding blocks, but if I tried to break something a bit harder than that, say for example mithril, then it would not do any such thing, as you can see right there. So honestly, I would suggest just using a basic mage set if you have one, because honestly, you're going to want the mana to get around with your Aspect of the End, once again if you have one, because the Dwarven Mines and the Crystal Hollows are both absolutely massive, and you don't want to be running everywhere. You know, being able to go and teleport wherever is going to save so much time, it's unbelievable. So, once you have your tier 3 of the Heart of the Mountain, you will of course gain access to the Crystal Hollows. Now, the Crystal Hollows are the single best, biggest, most important, most profitable area for mining in this whole game, and you're going to actually need some coins even just to get in. So, you're going to need at least 10k coins. You're going to give those coins to this individual here, and you will be given a ride over to the Crystal Hollows. And after a long ride, you will of course make it into the Crystal Hollows. Now, as you can see, I spawned in the area with the Jade and all of this. This is one of the more boring, more calm areas to spawn in, but this is actually where I'm going to show you the usefulness of the Piconimbus. Now this, once again, it breaks after time, which is very rare for a Hypixel item, and that's why it remains so important. because of that fact, it stays pretty cheap, because people get them a lot from crystal nucleus runs, and once again, they break, so they're not too useful for the majority of people, but they stay cheap once again. And because of that, in my opinion, they're a lot better than investing into a drill that's going to cost millions and millions of coins for an actually good one. Or you could just spend 200k on a Pico Nimbus that's going to have way more breaking power and way more mining speed than a drill that you could have for anywhere near that price. You'd have to put in so many coins to get a drill this good. And that's why I'm always a big fan of the Pico Nimbus. Because you can, use the pickaxe ability, you can do everything, you're gonna have insane mining speed. Keep in mind, these are all, hard blocks, these aren't normal stone. And if you switch over to an armadillo pet right here, you can actually ride the armadillo pet. This is the main purpose of it. Once it is not stuck in a block, there we go. And you can ride it through the blocks in the crystal hollows, because you can actually break these ones. Now, the armadillo pet is going to have its speed based off of your own speed, so since I'm not using a god potion right now, it's not going to go too fast. But as you can see, it is still going to break all of the blocks in front of me. There we go. Had to take down that nuisance of an enemy, but as you can see, you can go through all of the crystals that you need extraordinarily easy. This is not an easy thing if you don't use the armadillo pet, but with the armadillo pet, easiest thing you could ever do. Once again, I just need to kill those because they'll keep coming after me. But you can go up, you can go down. Going up arguably is a bit harder, but it's extremely easy all around. And I never even use the Pico Nimbus for actual mining, I just use it for this purpose. Because when you're holding a pickaxe while you're riding an armadillo, the armadillo can only break mobs with that pickaxe's breaking power. So, the breaking power of a Pico Nimbus, once again, is so much higher than anything else you can get for this price, or even anywhere near this price. This is upwards of the highest level of breaking power. The highest is 9, and this is 7. 7 breaks all but 2 kinds of gemstones in the crystal hollows, if I recall correctly. So you're going to be able to get through basically anything perfectly. And as you can see, after your armadillo recharges, you can just go back to actually, mining everything that you could ever need. But as far as mining in the dwarven mines and the crystal hollows goes and all that, that's about it. There's a lot more to the crystal hollows, but I'll do a video just about the crystal hollows soon, because there's a ton to talk about and I don't want this video to be too long. But once again, the actual mining aspect, that's about it. From now on, you would just be essentially doing a bunch of commissions until you hit a high level and can use the good drills and the good armor and all that. And then you would just basically mine endless gemstones and make a ton of money. But, as I said, that's basically it. So, with that, this is the end for today. As I said, I will be making a video all about the crystal hollows and the other stuff to do here soon. But if you liked this video, if it helped you at all, definitely make sure to leave a like, definitely make sure to subscribe as I said in the beginning, it helps so much. And once again, there's going to be an absolutely massive giveaway soon, and if you want a chance to win, make sure to subscribe. Definitely make sure to leave a comment if you have any other suggestions for other guides to do, or other videos all around to do, or really anything. If you want to say the word potato, make sure to comment the word potato. And if you really want to help out and support the channel, make sure to join as a channel member. It helps out an absolute ton, and there's a bunch of cool perks and specific unique areas in the Discord for them. But with that, thank you all very much for watching. Till next time everyone, and goodbye.